Hi guys, it's your boy Caleb Shoemate coming at you again today with another video, and today I'd like to discuss the topic, is capitalism greedy? You know, we hear all the time from the critics of capitalism that capitalism is motivated by profit and greed. Is that necessarily the case? I want to start out with a video by Milton Friedman that I think will give the conversation some great context, and then I want to add my own thoughts.
Around the globe, the maldistribution of wealth, the desperate plight of millions of people in underdeveloped countries, when you see so few haves and so many have-nots, when you see the greed and the concentration of power within, did you ever have a moment of doubt about capitalism and whether greed's a good idea to run on?
Well, first of all, tell me, is there some society you know that doesn't run on greed? You think Russia doesn't run on greed? You think China doesn't run on greed? What is greed? Of course, none of us are greedy. It's only the other fellow who's greedy. The world runs on individuals pursuing their separate interests. The great achievements of civilization have not come from government bureaus. Einstein didn't construct his theory under order from a bureaucrat. Henry Ford didn't revolutionize the automobile industry that way. In the only cases in which the masses have escaped from the kind of grinding poverty you're talking about, the only cases in recorded history are where they have had capitalism and largely free trade. If you want to know where the masses are worst off, it's exactly in the kinds of societies that depart from that. So that the record of history is absolutely crystal clear, that there is no alternative way so far discovered of improving the lot of the ordinary people that can hold a candle to the productive activities that are unleashed by a free enterprise system.
But it seems to reward not virtue as much as ability to manipulate the system.
And what does reward virtue? You think the communist commissar rewards virtue? You think a Hitler rewards virtue? You think, excuse me, if you'll pardon me, do you think American presidents reward virtue? Do they choose their appointees on the basis of the virtue of the people appointed or on the basis of their political clout? Is it really true that political self-interest is nobler somehow than economic self-interest? You know, I think you're taking a lot of things for granted. And just tell me where in the world you find these angels who are going to organize society for us. Well, I don't even trust you to do that.
I think what the critics of capitalism confuse as a bad thing and as greed is not greedy, but the pursuit of one's self-interest. It reminds me of a quote from Adam Smith, and if you'll pardon me, I'm going to look away from the camera, but I just want to read this quote to you so that I get it just right. It says, "It is not from the benevolence of the butcher, the brewer, or the baker that we expect our dinner, but from regard to their own self-interest. We must address ourselves not to their humanity, but to their self-love, and to talk to them not about our own necessities, but to their advantages." So you see, when people think, well, I can make a little bit of money, and I can better my own self, why would I not serve my fellow man? And it goes back hand in hand with a video that I did several weeks back on capitalism and morality, and I'll link to that in the description. But because one wants to better himself, what way to better himself than by serving his fellow man and by making a profit? There's nothing wrong with profit. It's more greedy to take from someone else by force and to give it to someone else. It's easy to be moral, so they claim to have the moral high ground. It's easy to be moral when you're using someone else's money. But there's nothing wrong with pursuing one's self-interest in the effort of bettering themselves. And I think that's the difference. They confuse greed with self-interest. There's no economic system in the world that will eliminate greed. That's a condition of the human heart. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe below and click the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future videos. See you soon.